All right, guys, I am back, and normally this would probably be called a mop-up, but this will be the start of a year-long project, and it's going to be called Stagnant Fragments. Instead of something like scrappy whatever or mop-ups or whatever, and in these series, I'm going to be taking my hoard of papers and kit papers and things that I have collected and stacked up, and it's just going to be I'm going to focus mainly on scraps for now, and then it will probably move into more of a pulling out papers that I haven't used just to get them used up, if that makes any sense. So anyhow, I just kind of skimmed the top layer, which is just happens to be the journal we were just working on. So yeah, I am excited actually. So this was the kit papers that we just used, and we're gonna just keep making ephemera out of these. And these are the papers that I pulled to do stuff in those, in that journal. So, and then these are the scraps off of the extra papers that are in that journal. And you're gonna hear huffing and puffing in the background. That would be our darling Miss Grace.
This is evidence of my hard work for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 years of my school life.
She has the same inability as most of us, not throw stuff away, which, actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these edges, like once and for all, so that it can feel like I can use these papers willy-nilly, because it's a beautiful kit. And yeah, so I'm just going to do a couple at a time. We're just going to trim off those edges, not being overly cautious on I guess straightness maybe, or how much I take off necessarily. I'm not really worried about that because it's not going into a journal. Obviously the ephemera will go into a journal, but so yeah, these might be some new ideas, some old ideas, some re-ideas, if you will. So yeah, welcome. So yeah, today was an interesting day at work. Today we had our individual revealing of the personality test we took last week, and it's not as bad as I was thinking it was, because in some of that it made it sound like I was just kind of heartless, and that's really not what it was saying. It was saying that in critical decision making, I'm the girl you want to go to, because I'll be able to essentially dissect what's happening and quick on my feet decisions, and that I don't get weighed down overly by emotion in those moments. That I treat everybody still fairly, but I just do what needs to be done, and we just get on getting on. So, which I thought was kind of a fair statement. Some of the things I didn't agree with, and I don't know if that's because of stubbornness or if it's, I did ask my coworkers that work with me directly every day. It's like, do you feel like that? And they're like, no. In fact, the opposite. So sometimes, it's not an exact science with those things, but yeah. So anyways, it was good. So yeah, it was another interesting day at the office, if you will. Yeah. So probably, and I do have an upcoming journal that could probably use these, and I think I'm going to make a few of these, and I think you'll enjoy these. I think you'll appreciate what I'm going to make here. We're gonna make pretty much large journal cards, basically.
She's complaining about being in her kennel, so I just wants to go outside. But you're gonna be outside alone.
So yeah, anyhow, so doing it this way, I actually think I'll put this one on the outside. You're getting, it's a double-sided, right? Because you can write on all this and it'll all show up. But at the same token, let's see, I probably want to do this. We'll make a few of these, and I'll probably do it on the lighter papers. But one of the upcoming journals that I have, it's going to be very, very adorable. And I don't know if you know, closer to the release, I guess it's a gift that Dawn and I are making. And I don't know if the person who it's for watches my channel. So on the off chance that she might, we're just not going to say who it's for. But it will be very cute. Okay, so we have double-sided, right? And at this point, then we can round out our corners. And on the off chance that this might be too tall for whatever you're putting it in, it can be folded in half. It can be whatever size you end up wanting it to be, right? Like you could cut it in half from this stage and make 2 more square ones, that sort of thing. So I am going to leave it how it is. Or, I mean, it could be a belly band. Like it could be a whole host of things, right? So, and before we do any decorating or anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside and let that glue really dry, so it gets nice and firm. Okay, there's one. Now I'm thinking more along the lines of one like this, where it's still pretty, you could still see the flowers, but it's much more muted. This way. Kind of liked how it turned out a minute ago. And our Gracie fixed dinner again tonight. She's becoming quite the little cook.
Gracie what?
Fixed dinner again tonight. And the girl is leaving me next week. Say that I'm happy about that. I mean, I understand why she's got to do it, but I don't know how I'm ever going to survive when they move out, as far as, like, one day I'll be like, oh, I can't wait, and then the next I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to live without my babies, right? Said every empty nester ever, right? I think, you know, in some ways I'm incredibly blessed that the kids still like me enough to live here. Now, I am going to cut that down just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to let it dry and kind of clean up those edges, and I think these are like probably close to 8.5. They're 8, yeah, so I'm going to take them down to like 7. I'm going to do a couple more like that. Ooh, that one's gonna be gorgeous like that. Excuse me. Isn't that gorgeous? Pretty papers. Really reminds me a lot of like eco dyeing, you know? Just pretty, pretty papers. You should be over there. Get out of my way.
I thought I saw those headlights out there, but now I can't see.
Let's do one more. That'll give us a good avenue. If I can find another one of the muteds. Gosh, they're all just so pretty. Okay, so one more like that, and then we'll do something else with these. Did Bo text and say he was on his way? Did Bo text and say he was on his way? Is that what you're doing right now, is fixing his?
Yeah, I mean, he's in the driveway, but
Oh.
I flipped it very well, too. That was my best flip of the night.
Just the way you say these things, Gracie. You just make me laugh.
I say,
Was that Barry coming in or your cat going out?
no bear coming in. Echo, what are you doing?
I guess this is another thing I do too. Sometimes when like a misprint happens, you can make all kinds of cool stuff with it, right? Like, it may not be good for your book pages, so to speak, but you can make really cool ephemera with misprinted stuff. So, okay, set those aside, let them get good and dry before we start gluing in there. Okay, let's take one like this that it's not quite so muted. Go fold up about a little more than half an inch. All right, so what in essence we have here is a pocket like so. And there's a couple of things we can do with this. I think what I'm gonna do is get kind of one shorter than the other. Like maybe like ink this. I'm not really worried about the bottom per se. Come on. Don't be ridiculous tonight. I just used you last night, so. So that's one pocket. Let me do another one that's not, like, that's kind of muted. I wouldn't mind losing. Right? Nope. It's off just a little. So. And just adjust a little bit. Just adjust the expectations. It's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So instead of my glue stick, I think I'm just gonna. Hey, buddy. Now, ink that up. Now, do we test our ability to cut straight, or do I just get the cutting board out? That didn't turn out so bad. So, same with this one. Just a little bit. Like that. I need to cut my hair desperately, because even just like a little bit of bang just fell in my eyes, and I thought we had a power surge. Oh, that's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? Okay, now in essence we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. Pretty cool, huh? Minimal effort, and it's pretty. And I like it. Let me just kind of get rid of that like that. Okay. Okay, now these other pieces, I'm going to use this as the main background, like I did with that one, because this little flower here is very pretty, right? Apparently, it wasn't as straight on the way down as it was on the top, so let's take that down a little bit. Or let's do this. Okay. That does not need to be open still. Should have done is glue that bottom shut first, huh? That probably would have been a wiser course of action. Fighting cats. All right, so this one is almost the same, except for now we have a tuck right here. We have a pocket here. Pocket right there, a pocket here, and then we can also make a little tuck there. Okay, well, that's that. Let's get back to these, because I'm guessing, oh yeah, they're good and thick. And cap this really quick. I do think I'm going to get my little cutter out for this portion. Clean up those little edges there. Okay, now I'm gonna go 6, and that'll, oh, look at that. It didn't clean it up, did it? The other edge, yeah, that looks fine. Okay, journal card, right? Okay, and All right, and one more. And then we're gonna move on to a couple other little pockets in this little cleanup thing. Stagnant Fragments. Do 5.5 on that one. Right, now I'm going to ink those really quick so that the only thing they're lacking then is maybe, like, I'll kind of show you what I'm thinking for some of these. They're a little bit simpler tags. In just a momento. From here, you can kind of decide on these. Like this one is probably the one I'll decorate, the side I'll decorate. And I'll show you how. I like these two for decorating tonight. And again, we'll probably decorate them pretty much in the same vein. Again, I want to make a couple of pockets too out of those coffee filters. Oh, sorry kids. I think it's getting rather tedious, but it all needs to happen, right? Okay. So I want to make a couple little pockets like this, and you have a couple of choices when you're dealing with these coffee filters, and this just happens to be my favorite way. So if you can tell, obviously I didn't go all the way to the end, and then I'm not going to go all the way to the top, right? So, but I am going to glue, I'm going to run my glue this direction on this little panel here. So it glues the very back, so you really are only getting three pockets, and I'll show you how in a minute. Quite what I had in mind, but it always works out better in your mind, doesn't it? Okay. So I gotta let that dry out a little bit. So I'm just gonna ink lightly here. Just give it a little bit of definition. Okay, and then I'm only going to take glue right here, okay? That's a little bit drier. I'm gonna go ahead and take my ink and just kind of hit the very edges of that. So in essence, you have pocket, pocket, and then a pocket in the back, okay? Okay. Now, another one I like to do with this, and I'll probably make several of these, is fold it like this. And then you flip it over. You bring it in like so. And again, it's not an exact science. You just do the very best you can. And then this should go over here. So I want that to come down a little bit. They can be little finickies. I'm going to tuck that into that one. Oh, come on. Sometimes they're fiddly. Sometimes you have to just give it a second. Give yourself some latitude, if you will. You want them to really kind of suck down in there. And then the only part I'm going to glue is this little piece right here, okay? Oh, attempt to glue, but that's a fairer statement. And again, I'm just going to take my glue or my ink and just barely kind of catch those edges, right? I dirty it up just a tad. So then it really becomes kind of a jigsaw, right? Because you can put one here, you can put one right here, you can put one right here, and then in the back as a tuck, okay? It's a pretty expressive pocket. And I'll make another one of those. Because like I said, they are pretty fun to make. And you can do this also with, if you, have cupcake liners. You can make them with that as well. And this isn't an original idea by any stretch of anybody's imagination. These have been done by loads of YouTubers. Gracie's in her room right now trying to clean because I think, as you probably remember back, I did a bunch of, or Bo and I did cleaning and got her new bed set up for her. And so now she's really going through and really organizing a ton, but she's sitting on her bed now. And I can guarantee you she's got some bubble wrap because I hear it being crinkled. And I know Bo went to his room to eat his dinner, so I'm 100% sure that that's Gracie. All right, now let's decorate. See, I no longer need this. At least for now, I don't. Let's see, I'm thinking I like that one and this one, so get this out. And we are gonna go with maybe this one? Probably, that's where I'm going with that, okay. white. Scoop it off a little bit. These are things I did not use that Gracie got me for Christmas, so they're very, very, very pretty. They're acetate ones, and they border more on the realism, and I love that. I love that for us. So normally, I don't think these are stickers. 100% acetate. I just like to check just in case, because I've had some tricksters in my past. So far, for the most part, I find that acetate glues well with art glitter glue. I've not really tried it. I have tried like the Fabri-Tac. It does not work that well with acetate. Okay. Let's see. How about one like that? Kind of lends to the scheme of the colors there. I just got to thinking, you know what, I might go ahead and occasionally, look at this. And we have little tiny labels that we didn't use before. Yep, like that. And these are stickers from what I can remember, so. Like a washi type, I think. There we go. Nope, I guess just regular old sticker. Okay, so that one is almost done. Oh, that one's kind of cool. Kind of lends to the colors, doesn't it? And when you're doing these, all you need to do is remember that you're not putting, chances are you're not putting them in the same journal. So if you decorated 2 or 3 tags the same, you know, especially if you're doing like a mass make, or even if you're not, and you, there we go. It might be a little bit bigger than it should be, but that's okay. I'm not plussed. Not plussed at all. In fact, I love those. Now for a finishing touch, I'm gonna have to figure out, this is where I'm going to be using scraps. This one will go perfectly. This, and I'm gonna have to use my regular stapler because my Tim Holtz stapler has finally like completely bit the dust, so I gotta get a new one. Okay, there's that one. Keep that handy for this next one. Oh, that's a little too awkward. Thinking one of the scraps with like the writing on it, but I might have used most of that up. I feel like it needs more color. No, I don't know, I kind of like that. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's 2 completed ones, and like I said, that acetate does work well with the art glitter glue, and you can't even really tell that it's behind it. So there's 2 finished, and then for future, we have 4 pockets and 4 journaling cards and 3 total tags. So not bad for a short day's work there. I don't know how short it actually is. It's probably at least a half an hour long. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick little let's make some ephemera. And yeah, I'll just see you in the next one. Bye, guys.